everybody, Dr. Diane, your chronic illness expert here, and we're going to talk about brain fog. This is the last video of our brain fog month. We're going to talk about brain fog in relationship to chronic fatigue and talk a little bit about some lifestyle things. So brain fog and chronic fatigue syndrome very commonly go together. And you might be asking why. Why do these things go together? Well, oftentimes the root causes of what's causing brain fog are actually the same root causes of what causes chronic fatigue. And you might be thinking that if you read on certain sites online, you'll see there's no cause of this, you'll just have to live with this. This is not true. There's a lot what we see in evidence of things that are actually leading to the nerves to die, to lower oxygenation of the brain, problems with fatigue, on and on and on. So make sure you go back a few episodes and watch my video on hidden causes of brain fog. Other symptoms that we oftentimes see with this, a very, very common one is called POTS. POTS is an acronym for postural orthopedic tachycardia syndrome. And essentially what happens when you have POTS is you feel dizzy a lot, especially when you change from things like sitting to standing. This might be like dizzy to a point where you change from sitting to standing and you feel like you're going to fall over or faint. That could mean that you have POTS. Now, like what I'm talking about with brain fog as well as with chronic fatigue, POTS oftentimes is the same root cause. So these are all symptoms of common root causes, right? So they go together. So in next month, we're going to go deeper into chronic fatigue. This has been brain fog month, but some basic things to do. So we already talked about tests, we talked about diet, we talked about supplements throughout this past month. Other things you want to consider sleep. You want to make sure that you are sleeping deeply. If you're not sleeping deeply, you're actually not detoxing your brain very well. Remember, we've talked about toxins as neuroinflammatory particles. They inflame the nerves. The nerves don't work as well, leading to brain fog. We actually clean that trash out of our brain when we sleep, and we sleep deeply. So if you're in bed, that does not mean you're sleeping deeply. We want to make sure that when you are in bed, you are actually deeply enjoying your sleep in order to help with getting that trash out of your brain, right? So how do you know if you're sleeping deeply? You can wear a sleep tracking device, such as an Apple Watch or an Oura Ring. But the idea is to learn, to wear a device like this if you can for a long enough time to learn what triggers are preventing deep sleep. The number one trigger I see that is preventing deep sleep for people is blue spectrum of light. The blue spectrum is the spectrum of light that is in most of our white light bulbs, for example. That type of spectrum of light blocks melatonin, our sleep hormone. So if we're reading things with bright lights on at night, if we're watching a lot of TV at night, if we're on our computer or our phone, any of that light, if we just have a well-lit house, any of that light will block melatonin. So we want to use blue blocking software on our computers. You can get this in the App Store. You can put blue blocking software on your phone, also in the App Store. You can change certain light bulbs around your house to red light. Red does not cause problems for melatonin. It actually encourages melatonin. So essentially, if you change some light bulbs to red, you can change your house so it's lit up red after sundown, and that will also promote deep sleep. It's the number one most important thing. The relationship between sleep and brain fog is definitely very clear. We got to get you sleeping if we're going to get out of brain fog. Obviously, we need to make sure that we're talking about things like hydration and exercise. Another thing that people forget about is the lymphatic system. So we have this detox part in our brain that it gets really activated with sleep, but then the detox part of our body, our lymphatic system, that's one of the parts of detox. It's not the only part. There's lots of parts of detox. But the lymphatic system is a bunch of vessels that run through the body that essentially will collect the trash from the cells, bring it to the liver, and the liver breaks the trash down, right? So the lymphatic system only works when we move. So it's essential to move our body to get the trash out of our body so that we are not having this toxic load buildup, creating the stress in the body, creating this inflammatory reaction that can lead to that brain fog. So those are some of the top lifestyle things I would absolutely consider. Definitely mindfulness, definitely working on stress resiliency through things like breath work, visualization, embodiment exercises such as dance can work really well too. So that concludes our month. We're going to talk way more about chronic fatigue next month. Today was just leading into a lot of what we talked about this month as far as root causes. We see it with chronic fatigue as well. So we're going to go into more on that, plus different testing, plus different treatment. So it's going to have a totally new angle. We're going to continue to add on to this for you. So remember, you can find information also about my upcoming masterclass. I do a free masterclass every month where I focus on the content from that month. And it's an opportunity for you to take your questions that you've learned or you have from listening to me all month, bring them to me in a free masterclass to get your questions answered. So definitely sign up for that in the show notes. I hope this has been very, very valuable for you. It's been very valuable for me to be here with you. I love doing this for you guys. So please don't keep me a secret. My number one mission is to get information like this out, to help people stop suffering, to help people have more joy, to help people get their life back. So anything you can do to help me spread the mission and get information out like this and give people hope that these diseases are reversible, that there's actually things that can be done when we look and we figure out the root, I would love the help and support. Thank you again. We'll see you soon.